I've gotten Jude to go ahead and come on here and talk about OmniCurrent. I just want to remind everybody, OmniCurrent is the company that is about to provide software. The best software in the world, cryptocurrency trading software, is called Modulus. And right now, we're going through the process of having a top software developers basically add Radatech to Modulus. So we will have the most it's second generation cryptocurrency exchange software, and then we are going to be selling this or providing it to local partners, companies in various countries throughout the world, starting with Panama, then India, and these local partners will be they are run by very powerful people in their own countries, whether they're political, government, business, military, whatever. They're the guys that are running the shows in these countries, and they will be responsible for getting regulatory approval for their own private companies that will be the exchanges, and they will then be the ones that have the servers, provide maintenance to the servers, and then OmniCurrent will be providing this super high level exchange software that's also adapted for second generation crypto or digital currency technology, which is Radatech, so that our cloud coins will trade on it, so our tokens will trade on this exchange. But that's only part of the story. We're going to go ahead and reveal to you the second part of the story. And with that said, Jude, why don't you start talking about what's been happening in the world of exchanges and the big, super big problem right now?
I'd be glad to, Bob. Thanks for having me. And I see you've got this article up here. I wasn't even aware of that one. And that just tells you how many times this is happening. Cryptocurrency exchanges are holding physical money. It's not like a bank, as we are aware of today, that holds an entry, a digital entry in a logbook, if you will. I mean, they're not holding physical dollars or money like a cryptocurrency exchange is. A cryptocurrency exchange is holding people's actual cryptocurrency. So each cryptocurrency or Bitcoin is a string of characters that has to be held by the exchange. So it's a massive, massive target for hackers, as you can imagine. I've never heard of Bitrue. They obviously just got hacked for $4 million. Binance just
hit. That's right.
That's right. Binance just got hacked for $21 million in Bitcoin. Other exchanges are getting hacked, and what you don't hear about is how many exchanges get hacked. And I see that you're posting the numbers here. So it's the most serious problem with the cryptocurrency exchange, and obviously it's very clear that no one has figured it out, in my opinion.
Now we're talking, Jude. We're talking about in 2018. $1.3 billion worth of hacks.
Right.
That's 1.3, and hacking can happen internally and externally. Could you put some meat on the bone on that?
Well, I think when I saw the stats of all the cryptocurrency exchanges that have been hacked, it was about 50-50, 60-40, and 50% coming from a hack internal, which is your system admins that have access to the database so they can steal stuff. And then 50% or 40% or so coming from external, where a hacker finds a vulnerability, gets into the system, and steals the cryptocurrency. So those are the major sources of hacks. I mean, this is consistent, though. It's not like this is anything new. Facebook and every other website on the internet faces those two challenges no matter what. It's just that now cryptocurrency, because they're actually storing physical money, have become the biggest targets.
What's the solution?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I had a idea. about 18 years ago, before I even really knew what I was doing. And so there's got to be a way to do something on it from a distributed standpoint to do security for websites. Fast forward to today, you know, met you and Sean Worthington at Radatech. And what Sean has developed is so far beyond anything else in existence. And I'm not just saying that because I'm part of this project. It's just phenomenal. And so I've been having this conversation with him because the idea is we're going to build these exchanges, right? Well, we obviously want to do it correctly. We don't want to go into it with potential hacking situations, right? So we've been talking to security firms. Modulus and their team have great security guys, but everybody's got the same thing. It's okay, make sure your ports are closed. I'm just a little technical for people, but I'm just going to run through this.
Try. Actually, I would like you to try to explain exactly what is happening to the degree you can. You know, and I do know we have different levels of folks here, but why don't you try to do it, you know, give some analogies and maybe that'll help.
Yeah, sure. Well, you know, what typical server security is, and I'm not a security expert. I mean, I'm the guy on the outside and I deal with security guys, so I don't know everything, but I'm going to explain a little bit, okay? You know, they put up firewalls, and a firewall filters traffic, and it tries to determine if some traffic is bad or it's coming from a bad place where a lot of hackers come from, like China or South Korea or whatever. It identifies potential negative traffic. It does a lot more than that, but that's a simplistic explanation for a firewall. And a firewall is just a machine or a server or software that sits between your server that's operating the business and the internet, and it offers some security. Okay, that's one aspect. The other aspect is you have a server that's running an application such as a cryptocurrency exchange. Well, for that server to be on the internet, it has to allow certain traffic. So it has open on it what is called ports. And ports are just like, okay, this traffic's coming from here. This is the port that's got to go through, and that port's open. Okay. And so there's other things in ports that can be open that shouldn't be open, that hackers take advantage of when you've got bad system security guys. So in other words, there's a port it's okay to be open, and then there's other ports that shouldn't be opened. And the hackers, when they scan the server and they find these open ports, and then they find ways into the server. So and then the other thing is your code. So your code can have vulnerabilities in it. It can have places that the hackers can scan, and they can find vulnerabilities, and they can get their way in through an injection. And they inject some code, and they find their way in. So those are the things that basically everybody on the internet is dealing with, right? And the alternative, or I should say, the things that the practices that solve those, basically everybody knows. But there are levels of security. Just like I said, some people can have a port open and they're not aware that it shouldn't be open, and so a good security guy can fix it. So there's levels with everything. You know, you've got the security team that's level 1, you got the security team that's level 10. But that's all the typical security stuff that's in existence. So my thing is if we're going to put this exchange up, and we already have technology that Radatech has developed that is the best of authentication technology on the planet, then there has to be, when I approached Sean at Radatech, I said, there's got to be a way to protect the entire exchange with what you've already created. And of course, he's like, well, yeah, you know, yeah, totally. I mean, that's not a problem at all. And then he starts explaining it to me, and I'm gonna be straight up honest and transparent. I can't fully explain it myself. But what I can do is I can give everybody a kind of an overview. And before I give that overview, I just want to reiterate or explain a couple very important things. What he has created and what we're going to integrate into this exchange will make it unhackable. That's a big word. That's a big statement. But it is unhackable. And so when you showed the example of the Bitcoin transaction, at the very beginning of that transaction, somebody has to log into their wallet with a username and password, and then they got to, initiate the transaction. And so there's this username and password that exists on the internet, and for their wallet. And then when they transfer from their wallet into an exchange, the exchange has to store that username and password. So that's what the hackers are going after. The main thing they're going after is, how do we get the user's password to their cryptocurrency? And it's not too hard to get to, because in most exchanges and most servers and just about every website out there, including people that are logging onto Facebook and Google and everything else, there's one username, there's one password, there's one database, and everything's in there, right? So the hacker or whoever internal person has to get that database, and then they've got all the data, they've got everything they need. So the beauty of what RADA is we can, and again, like I said, I can't fully explain it. So it's a good thing, because there's a lot of people here that are less knowledgeable than I am. So I'm going to explain it in an overall way. So we can essentially take we can create 3 factors for authentication, okay? But the most important thing is that we can take the main authentication factor, and we can split it up over 25 different clouds, right? So instead of there being a cryptocurrency stored in one place, it's stored in 25 different places. It's kind of like the blockchain, except this is far surpassing blockchain, because it's all created and all sitting out on the internet in multiple pieces. So there isn't one database and one password and one username. There's 25 and more than that, because there's detection agents that are also a part of that. It really just multiplies the protection times 100.
That's why we have all those detection agents out there.
Correct. Exactly. And so today, what we do is we distribute all the data on all the RADA clouds and detection agents, all the data and the coins and the passwords, and everything is split up in 25 different places. So if a person was to go and grab one of those RADA servers and say, okay, now I got this, I'm going to get everybody's cryptocurrency. Nope, they only got 1/25 of it. Right, and these servers are all over the world. The chances of somebody getting all 25 it's not even possible, because they don't even talk to each other. They don't talk to each other. They go through other techniques. So they're kind of operating independently through other channels, kind of like a tunnel. If people are familiar with the Tor network, this tunneling that connects it and makes everything talk through independent agents in the middle, the detection agents. It's just there's no way that it's going to be possible for anybody to hack this. It's absolutely impossible.
And now, who does this affect? I mean, obviously it affects. I mean, if we're providing this exchange software to an exchange, this affects all of their customers, all the companies that are going to have tokenized systems on. I mean, does this only address cryptocurrency exchanges?
Well, that's a very good question. So when I was started to think about this a long time ago, it's a persistent problem. Every website, every internet business has a username and password. If you go you go to a site that has selling $25 piece of information, you got to have a username and password to access it. So basically what this creates is the potential to create the standard for security on the entire internet, not just cryptocurrency. I mean, cryptocurrency is where we're starting because that's the most obvious. Rate Attack and the Cloudcoin need an exchange to operate effectively, and the exchange is going to be a target, one of the biggest targets. But that's going to be the proof. The proof of the concept is, hey, look at this. We're running this exchange with this Rate Attack security system, and it's unhackable. Well, what happens then? Okay, so every
Wow.
other exchange is going to want it, and so is Microsoft and Facebook. I mean, they'd be stupid not to want it. if they,
You know
if
that,
they,
and I think that's if you know when we looked and when Jude and I and his partners looked at what I looked at 2 years ago, year and a half ago, we're saying to ourselves, okay, CloudCoin's a fantastic idea. Every single exchange should jump on this. It's next generation technology. And the exchanges were so busy yawning and going, hell, we're making so much money from this. Who the hell cares about this second generation? We're getting fat, dumb, and happy with this stuff. And so the ultimate solution was, okay, let's find a company that has really good software that provides the software to the exchanges, and let's go further so we could completely control the process. I'm talking about control. Let's not even have to sell an exchange on using the software. Let's help some companies that are brand new companies that are run by folks that are very strong in their different countries. Let's help independent exchanges that want to launch an exchange. Let's help them and hear this great software that provides them traditional cryptocurrency features, Rate Attack features, but then to top it all off, security. And that's what we're talking about.
and so as the world migrates to cryptocurrency, because that's obviously where things are going, right? I mean, the whole goal is to turn money completely electronic. And so, and the more that happens, the more people's money is at risk if they're using any other cryptocurrency exchange that doesn't have the Rate Attack security. And so, if you look historically, there's been hacks as much as hundreds of millions of dollars in one exchange. So who's going to put their money on an exchange that doesn't have Rate Attack security that's unhackable?
Right. So I just kind of want to walk people through so they really understand this, because OmniCurrent will be the state of, because Jude was smart enough a long time ago to acquire Modula Software, the best cryptocurrency exchange software in the world, running on God knows how many exchanges. Now he tracked down one of the major developers of that software, and is now going to Ukraine next month, and they have begun the process of basically modifying Modula Software so that it's Rate Attack capable. And now Rate Attack, because this really has an impact on the value of both OmniCurrent and Rate Attack. I've always thought to myself, the biggest customer that's ever going to be around for Rate Attack, it's going to be exchanges. And now with OmniCurrent is the software adapted by Rate Attack, and OmniCurrent is the engine to sign up and set up exchanges all over the world with the software. Then it's all over but the crying. Is that a reasonable summary of what we're doing?
Absolutely. And there's so much here, it's hard to communicate it all, but you summed it up well. I mean, the security is the number one issue when you're dealing with people's money. And so we don't want either us or Rate Attack or the partners that decide to become an exchange partner with us. We don't want them to have to worry about the liabilities, and we don't want the customers to have to worry about, was my money safe? So yes, the first step is cryptocurrency exchanges, but from there, who knows? I mean, the possibilities are endless because every website's storing someone's data in some capacity.
Exactly. So once again, I urge everybody not to be busy typing away on email, sending this out, or posting stuff on Facebook, or. Please keep this. This is kind of in our group here. There's quite a few of you who are Omni current investors. There's a lot of people here that are RadarTech investors. There are people here who are RadarTech detection agents. This has impact on everybody that is in those groups. And then there's another group of people here on this briefing right now that are, of course, CloudCoin owners. So this has a lot of impact. Now, we've done only 2 announcements about OmniCurrent, and we've had a number of people. We can only accept 35 unaccredited investors to invest in OmniCurrent, and we've already chugged through quite a few of those folks. If you're interested in getting a piece of the rock, owning a piece of this company, OmniCurrent, we are doing a friends and family round. It is very limited, and we have another a big investor who's rolling in a big wire now. I think if it's not in today, it'll be in tomorrow. So this thing is very limited. If you're interested in getting information on this or want to invest, go ahead and email me at bob@digitalcurrencygrowth.com. bob@digitalcurrencygrowth.com. That's bob@digitalcurrencygrowth.com, and put the subject line NUCO, and I will send you out the PPM. Once again, I just want to alert you, we do not get into huge detail regarding the security element of this project, even in the PPM. It's more or less a feature. But I'm telling you, between everybody in the call here, that feature is the big ticket. And it impacts both RadarTech and OmniCurrent, and will of course have impact on just our agents, our detection agent network, and CloudCoin holders. So once again, if you're interested in getting information, it's bob@digitalcurrencygrowth.com. Just so you understand what a unaccredited investor is, this is a friends and family round. This is the only time in which people who make less than $200,000 annually by themselves, or less than $300,000 as a couple, or if you don't have $1 million in net worth, not including your home. If you do not have $1 million of net worth in your net worth, not counting your home, if you do not make $200,000 to $300,000, you are considered an unaccredited investor. We only have 35 that we can do. I know a number of you on this briefing are not accredited investors, so I'm thinking we may already be through a half of that. I'm pretty sure we are. Of course, if you're an accredited investor, you can get involved at any time, except when we shut this baby off, because we are not doing a lot. We're not raising a lot of money on this friends and family round, just because this is the most expensive time for us and the most lucrative time for you in terms of valuation. You get the best bang for your buck if you get in on the friends and family round. Jude, are there any before we do our drawing, are there any follow-up thoughts before we end off tonight? We're going a little late. We're running about 6 minutes late.
Yeah, no, I think you covered it. Just, I can't express the magnitude of this, and I think that we're gonna see that as we go, the magnitude of this security thing. But that's the beauty of it, and yeah, it's